Hi Chingu, for today's vlog, I'm going to answer one particular question from my subscribers who have been asking about what exactly I'm doing here. Like, am I working as a factory worker? They even asked about my salary, how long I've been working here in South Korea. So those questions that I normally get from a new subscriber or from a new friend on Facebook or Instagram. So they always ask these questions, which I think very important to be answered through vlog. That's why in a few minutes I will let you know the reason why I'm here in South Korea. Definitely I am not an OFW. I am not working here. How I wish I am working here as an OFW for me to earn a higher compensation, and sad to say I am not. So I will let you know what exactly I'm doing here in South Korea. And to make our discussion more interesting, I would like to introduce to you some of the snacks which I think quite common in South Korea. I have not tried these snacks yet, so you will know if I like it or not because we will evaluate them. We will give each snack a rating from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So let's begin. Alright, so the first thing that I would like to tell you is that what exactly I'm doing here. Am I really working as a factory worker? Definitely not. I am studying here. I am pursuing master's degree. Specifically, I am pursuing Master's of Science in Environment and Forest Resources. Yes, forestry. I am into forestry. In fact, my undergraduate degree is also forestry. Bachelor of Science in Forestry in the University of the Philippines. And my master's degree is also forestry. And maybe 5 to 10 years from now, depending on the condition, my PhD will also be forestry. So that's how I love forestry. And I am graduating in August 2021. So basically, I'm very busy doing my research or thesis. And this vlogging is just my way to, relieve stress because it's very stressful here in South Korea. By the way, is this the first time you've heard the word forestry? Sounds cool, right? Sounds interesting, right? Maybe yes for some, maybe no for some. But when you Google search the word forestry, you will find out that it's really interesting. It's very important in improving a country's economy, in solving environmental problems like flash floods, landslides, and many other environmental problems that we know, in solving climate change, in solving poverty, in providing good quality water. These are just some of the very good examples of the importance of forestry in a society. So, what are you waiting for? Google search forestry and maybe you will love it. And surely you will love it. Alright, so let's start to evaluate our first snack in line. Our first snack is flat cocoa corn. So, flat cocoa corn. As far as I know, this is one of the famous Korean snacks that both adults and kids love. So let's open and let's see what's inside the bag. Oh. It has cone-shaped chips. Chips? What do you call this? It's light, very, very light, thin, and cone shape. Kind of sweet and salty. It is fried. Yeah, very light. It has a strong taste of corn. The cone-shaped chips here in your fingers. Like this. Oh, I don't know. This one. I just got my nails done. Oh. I know already the reason why kids love this, because they can put their fingers inside this cone-shaped chips. I want bigger one. It's just mild. Yeah, I mean not so salty. Just mild. Do I have a scholarship as a master's degree student? As an international student here? Yes, I do have. Definitely, I do have. Because I couldn't afford to study here without scholarship. And my scholarship is a government, semi-government institution, and that's KOFPI, Korea Forestry Promotion Institute. You can visit this website and you can find additional details or further details about the institution and about the scholarship program if you are interested to apply, or at least to know what coffee is. Right? In my batch, there are scholars from Myanmar, Lao PDR, Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Africa, specifically Nigeria and Rwanda. So, KOFPI provides scholarship to foreign students. So let us judge, let us evaluate. So because of this feature that makes it unique, I can give this snack a rating of 3.5. The next snack that we are going to evaluate is the Nongshim prawn cracker snack. So let us try. So it looks like French fries. It's really similar with what we have in the Philippines, the Owashi prawn cracker, which is my favorite. It looks like French fries, but it's kind of lighter compared with what we have, with, you know, narrow ripples here. Yeah, it's really similar with the Owashi prawn cracker. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, similarly, it is crunchy and it has a bold, slightly salty flavor. Yeah, exactly the same with Owashi prawn cracker. I think all prawn crackers taste the same, right? It has spicy variant, same with what we have. This is Nongshim Nongshim shrimp prawn cracker. So you can read this way. Nongshim. This one. Nongshim. Nongshim. Very typical. There's nothing special about this snack. Although I remembered my favorite prawn cracker snack in the Philippines, I was not convinced to give a high rating for this snack, so I will give 2/5. 2/5 for this because there's nothing special. It's the same. But if you love shrimp, if you are shrimp lovers, maybe you can give as high as 5. But for me, maybe 2 would be enough. It's fair. It is stated here that it's good to eat with megju. Do you know what I mean? Megju or beer. That's why I have here with me a can of beer. So I'll try if it's really true. And let's eat again. It's the same. It doesn't change. It doesn't change my verdict. 2, still 2/5, even with megju. Alright, so while eating this snack, which was given a very low score, let us answer one question, and that is how to apply for scholarship. Now, I'm referring to KOFPI scholarship because other scholarship here in South Korea might have other system of procedure of application. So we'll use KOFPI as a reference. Alright, so you have to have a professor first or advisor who will supervise you in your target university. So if your target university is Seoul National University or SNU, you have to look for a professor there whose research interest is the same with your research interest. So you have to communicate with him or her by all means, preferably by email or by Skype or Kakao Talk. Now why it's important to have a professor first? It's very different, right? In other countries, it's not like that. But here, it's very important to have or to communicate with your potential or target advisor first. And you have to have that one as your first step. Because you will request a recommendation letter from this professor, from your desired professor, which you will need. That recommendation letter, you will need that for your scholarship application, because most of the scholarship programs here in South Korea requires an applicant to submit a recommendation letter from a Korean professor. Not only Korean professor, but also from your professor in your country, like in my case in the Philippines. So other than the recommendation provided by my potential Korean advisor, I also requested my colleagues or my former professors in the Philippines to provide me a recommendation letter. So I provided, as far as I know, 3 recommendation letters. So when communicating with him or her, you have to have a research proposal already, and just a capsule proposal, not a full-blown one. And for you to have something to discuss, like what kind of research you intend to do in the university, what are your plans, so something like that. Because professor will ask about those things, like they will make sure that you will really finish the degree in the specified time, because it will be based on the scholarship, because master's degree scholarship is only good for 2 years. So you have to finish the degree within 2 years time. So professor will make sure that you have the ability or you have the skills that will help you survive in Korea. Here, when we say professor, we are actually referring to advisor, thesis advisor. So the next snack that we are going to evaluate is the onion polka chip. This looks like Jack and Jill potato chip and Lay's potato chip. Let us check then. Let us check then if it's really true. But the first time I saw it, it looks like, yeah, the Jack and Jill potato chip and or Lay's potato chip. Let's open. Oh, it's very thin. I like it's kind of transparent. Look, I could still see you there. Really strong. I mean, the taste of onion really strong. I couldn't taste the potato, just the onion. It's like onion rings. Speaking of onion rings, like it tastes like onion rings. See, 감성. It really has a strong onion flavor. Transparent, very thin. This is onion polka chip. Oh, I'm practicing how to read Korean characters. Polka chip. Right? Polka chip. Polka chip, is it? Polka chip. 감자. Kamja means potato. Kamja. Gamja or kamja. So what's our score for this snack? Is it 5? Is it 4? What do you think? Actually, it's not so special for me. But let's try with make chip again. So, what should I give? Let us give this snack 3.5 also. 3.5 because I like the taste. Although the presentation, the packaging, the presentation is kind of typical or common, but the taste is like Pringles. The onion and the sour and cream flavor of Pringles. So that's why I will give 3.5 for this snack. Alright, where are we now? What are we gonna discuss? Okay, the next requirement. So the next requirement that you have to prepare for your scholarship application is you have to pass or you have a certificate of English proficiency. In my case, I took TOEFL English test, specifically in Quezon City in the Philippines. It's kind of expensive, so that's why you have to prepare well for that exam. In as far as I remember, I paid for almost 12,000 for the TOEFL test, for the English test. And the certificate, if you passed, will be given to you 1 month after your examination date, after taking the exam. Kalbi onion rings. Oh, this is the first time I've seen this one here. I am not sure if this is also famous in South Korea. It's just that when I was buying the other snacks, I saw this, so I decided to try. So let's try. I thought it's like our oishi onion rings in the Philippines. Look. The taste is like, you know, the Knorr seasoning mix that we have in the Philippines. It has that kind of taste. That's why I said it's like soy sauce, but specifically just like that, the Knorr seasoning. Alright, so while waiting for the result of the English test, you can prepare for the other requirements that are required, like the transcript of records, diploma, what else? Good moral. So these are examples of the basic requirements that are being required by Korean scholarship programs like KOFPI. So for more details, of course, you can always check the website for the complete list of requirements. But there's one thing I would like to emphasize, which I think very important. You have to be very, very careful in filling out the application form, in following the instructions given to you. Say, for example, if they require you to have the documents, all documents stamped, to have it notarized by a lawyer or by anyone in charge or by anyone concerned, you have to follow all the instructions. You have to follow what they say, because it's very important. They are very particular to people following instructions. So when filling out the forms, make sure everything is correct, neat, and well organized. So that's one thing you should consider in filling out the forms and in submitting these requirements. Although these are just basic, but there are additional steps or requirements. So the final verdict, I would give this next score of 1/5. Okay, let's find out the taste, if it's really good. Oh, but before the taste, I would like to show you the shape of the crackers. It's really cool, really fun. Look, I think the kids would love this one. It's like a crab. Look, oh, really fun, oh, really cute. I find this snack really unique because of this cracker, the shape of the cracker. Another good thing is just there is a strong taste of a crab, which is my favorite seafood. And the taste of the seaweed is also strong. Perfect match with the taste of a crab. I think I like this one. Let us try with Maekju. It's better, a lot better. Really a lot better. very savory, flavorful, healthful. I don't think so. All junk food are not good for our health. So although it has seaweed, still this is not good for our health. I really like this. I like this maybe because of the taste of the crab, which is my favorite, and the seaweed, which is also my favorite. Plus the unique shape. I really like it. Look at this one. Alright, so what are we discussing again? About requirements. Yeah, so I would like to add, you are already admitted to the university. The scholarship donor will now email you regarding visa processing. So all the details will be provided to you via email. So you have to check your email always for you not to miss the deadline, because they are very particular with the deadline and they don't normally give extensions. So always check your email. If it's not in your inbox, check your spam, because it happened to me. So there are specific instructions for visa processing for scholars, so you have to pay attention to those details or instructions. Let us try again this one with make two. Really good. Alright, so another thing that I would like to add, if you already have the visa with you, the scholarship donor will now email you again for the plane ticket. They will ask you first your preferred or your desired schedule of flight, as long as you don't miss the orientation of the scholars. I mean, orientation for the scholars, because the scholarship provider usually conducts orientation, general orientation for scholars, and that's also for free, including the hotel accommodation. They will provide everything for you during the orientation. So during the orientation, they will discuss Korean culture that you have to know as an international student. Also, they will also discuss some rules and regulations as a scholar, and many other important things. Now, when you arrive in South Korea, you should have a phone number first. That's the first thing that you should do. Why? Because you need to open a bank account to which the monthly allowance will be deposited. So you cannot open a bank account without a phone number, because phone number is a very important requirement for opening a bank account. So without bank account, you cannot receive your monthly allowance. So we have to open a bank account first. That's all for today's vlog. I hope you learned something about Korean snack and basic information about what exactly I'm doing here. I know it's kind of boring, but I just have to, I think it's very important to respond to the request of some of my subscribers, and that is to make vlog about, what exactly I'm doing here, the reason of going to South Korea. So I find it very important to respond to this kind of request. So I hope to see you again in my next vlog. So thank you very much again for your support.